All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Intro. Oh, we're episode. No, I don't feel like we've started yet.
You're not coughed enough.
What makes the start? What makes a start? What's your biggest fear?
I was thinking about this today actually, and I don't know.
Just thinking about fear.
Yeah, well, I was trying to think because like Vix has got really obvious stuff, like she's scared of spiders. And I was like, well, there must be a way to kind of get over fears. And I was like, well, how would I go over my fears? I was like, I don't know. I'm not like one of these people like, I'm not scared of anything, but I just haven't really found it yet. I guess, like, if I'm being suspended from heights, maybe I'm uncomfortable. But, like, I wouldn't say it's strong enough to say I've got a fear of heights.
Well, people say you need to get over fears, but I think that's like they see fear as a negative, don't they? And they see like you need to not be afraid anymore. Well, but like there's paralyzing fear, and then there's like adrenaline fear, which is like if you see a spider and you're scared of spiders, maybe you'll become much more agile.
But that's the thing, though. Like, does it spur you into action, or does it make you fall over yourself and smash your head on a coffee table?
I think two different types, isn't it? Like, you could be afraid for your life, and that can make you fight harder to maintain your life.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. But then there's people who, get paralyzed with fear, and paralyzing fear is useless to everybody. So, overcome that. But embrace fear. Just, like, it heightens all your senses. Makes you all... Wish I was afraid of stuff.
Well, I've always considered, like, as far as the fight or flight thing, I've always considered myself very flighty. Like, I don't think I'm a confrontational person. In particular,
so like,
I think I'd go so far as like I'd protect my family and protect people I love and stuff like that. But like in a situation where it's like, well, I can either fight this thing, or I can run away, and no one else. It doesn't really affect anyone else. I'd just run away.
How did you ever get a mortgage? I'm standing and fighting for this mortgage.
It doesn't come up on the
run
away. The form. They ask you stuff
you need
about
3
your credit,
proofs of
and then there was
reference.
That one bit about a bear.
Yeah. Well, what you need fire insurance. Fire, run. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Well, that's. Oh, so I think you got any biggest fears? You've been thinking about your fear, but no fears.
I'm such a big man that I'm just like, I'm not scared of anything, but I can't think of anything that's like.
I could help. I could try and give you a couple of plagues of different types of animals.
Okay.
A plague of gulls, and then just see. Nice. This is fine. Go through the different tier lists of animals.
Yeah.
A plague of rhino. This is inconvenient. not
funny,
scary, but inconvenient.
Yeah, just a lot more traffic.
Did you think you'd be afraid if you were hunted for sport?
Yeah.
I've thought about that. I thought that would be quite a fun thing to do. It's just, I don't know how much you'd get along with it. Like, even if I was like, oh, I'll sort out your calendar and you got like a week, and just get like 10 people and be like, look, we're gonna turn up at your door. Hi, Steve. We're gonna hunt you for sport. Over the next 7 days, we'll give you a head start of an hour.
Stag.
Yeah. See what happens. And then, but yeah, I didn't know how you say. Yeah, it could be. So maybe we'll hunt Steve for sport.
Yeah,
so this is
actually, but like paintballs, or like how far would you take it? Because I'm assuming that you wouldn't be looking to commit murder. In which case,
manslaughter.
Well, that's the thing. If I thought my life was in peril, then maybe. Yeah. But like, I don't think you'll kill me.
The kill. Right, so yeah, it'll be like.
And I don't even think you'll torture me. I think you'd go out of your way to scare me, but I don't think you'd try and hurt me or torture me in a serious way.
Right. If there was one of those spinning wheels that you attach people to and throw knives, I'd throw one knife. I don't know whether that means I'd like to kill you or not. But, like, I guess on the wheel, there's like a 50% chance that it'll miss.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe 50% I want to murder you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Be too funny not to throw one knife. You have to throw one knife at least, like from behind or something stupid like that. That'd work.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe not hunt for murder then. We have to hunt for something that you're afraid to lose. Your virginity, 10 people.
That's a very different
Steve,
version of
we're gonna hunt you for gang rape.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been trying. I've heard there's a YouTube algorithm thing where you need to behave yourself within the first 10 minutes. Don't say any swear words. Don't do anything like this. And we've opened up. We're going to hunt Steve for gang rape. So I guess that's week 3 of trying to.
We'll just play like a 5-minute song at the start, and then
the gang rape song.
No. Like just like lift music or something, and then just cut into the gang rape bit, and you'll have missed the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. What about, like, we sent, like, a beloved possession into space? Something that you didn't want in space.
Like my
Your
wife.
wife, for example.
Yeah.
Send your car into space.
I'd protest that. I'd make a placard and be like, "Don't send my wife to space."
What if we dyed your skin a colour? That'd be good.
I saw a trailer for a film, and like. It was a big serious film, like a space thing on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called, but it's just come out. And the basic premise is like there's 3 people that get sent into space, and then there was a janitor stuck behind a vent, and he was knocked unconscious. Yeah. And then like he falls out of the thing like unconscious, and they're like, "Oh, I wonder how long he's been here," and then. And then he comes to, and he looks outside and just sees Earth.
I didn't think that much of the trailer, but I didn't see that it was a janitor and he was just a kind of like alright guy. So
yeah, he was just an engineer, and he wasn't meant to be in space, and now he's in space, and it's been played as this really serious thing. But I was like, that's fucking hilarious. It's like, okay, I was just here to fix a coffee machine, and there's Earth.
Yeah. Suddenly all my family are over there.
And that's the thing. He was like, I need to get home. It's like, this is a 3-year mission. What?
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds like it could be a laugh, but hey,
I think it was Stowaway or something like that.
Yeah, I meant that sounds like the blurb I read for Stowaway anyway. But yeah, there's a few like space shows that are meant to be serious but always feel like they're bad. Obviously, The Martian was like a comedy thing. Yeah, there was another
Martian was great.
Netflix star like space travel thing that was just like, this is so strange. It's a really weird genre to make work at the moment, I think. Because it's just felt. I think there was it was a manned mission to Mars or something like that.
Right.
A Netflix show, and for some reason I remember it kind of crumbling and being like, this has gotten really weird all of a sudden. I don't know. Maybe I guess people always have to have horror as space most of the time, or science, not drama.
Well, I mean, I guess like the overarching theme is always like kind of science. But for the most part, even that, it's not, because they're asking you to make like a somewhat intellectual leap, where they're like, look, we know this isn't possible now, but here's a point where it is possible. Just go with it.
Yeah, this janitor fell asleep, survived 10 G-force rocket launch.
With no training.
Then woke up, floated in space.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. No, yeah, it seems to be a difficult one to work with, fair enough. But yeah, we've started now.
Yeah.
We've started now. It was episode 238. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us you can see our ugly faces. If you're just listening on Spotify or Apple or wherever the fuck you listen, wherever the heck you're listening, then we're also on YouTube if you want to give us a shout. We've got a website, we've got social media. Do some work and figure it out yourselves.
Oh.
Can't be asked to link it. Yeah, so apart from contemplating fear, how are you, Steve?
I'm good. Now, to be honest, I've copied and pasted these from last week because you didn't ask me.
I'm sorry.
So this week is very much just a repeat of last week.
I'm just doing the same again. Fair enough.
Yeah. No, I've only made a couple of notes and I'm trying to remember what they mean. Yeah. So like, you'll understand what I mean when I say this, because I think we've had this conversation before where we both get into the same mindset. And it's a week out of date now, but I've flicked the switch.
Right.
It's flicked. It's in the other
right
direction. As far as like all the all
Gravity.
the health shit and all the gym shit and all of that stuff, it's officially on. Like, it's not half on. It's not like a dimmer switch where it's like, it's like, oh, I'll just go a bit and just it's like on. Everything is fucking like burning full fuel. Like, I've been every single day since they reopened so far, and I feel fucking great.
It's good.
And like all the food and the diet and everything, I just like 100%.
Asparagus.
I haven't had any this week, but I'm back on the
sea bass?
kiwis, so that's good.
Kiwis.
Yeah.
All right.
Kiwis are good.
I'm not gonna make funny this week, it's fine.
I went to this. I had a really unsatisfying moment just before I had this, because I was swimming and I'd gotten like 30 lengths done, and on my 34th I was like, I really want a banana, and so then I spent another 10 lengths just thinking about a banana, and then I went to the shop on the way home here, knowing that I had the podcast at like 1:15, so I just and they had no bananas. All they had was pears, and I was like, I don't want a pear at all. And I ended up just buying chicken legs and being like, this isn't a banana. Like,
Chicken legs.
Well, they were cooked. They were cooked. They were on offer.
Fair enough.
But like it's only when I'm kind of properly in. It was kind of bittersweet, because it's only when I'm properly kind of in like a health kick or health mode that I start craving stuff like that.
Right.
Whereas before it'd be like, I don't know, crisps or just
muesli.
Yeah, maybe.
I've never craved muesli.
No, but you're a banana fan.
Oh yeah, definite banana, fruit, sugar, everything fan.
Yeah.
Big banana fan, to be fair. I could probably eat bananas every day. But no, it's so cravings. Yeah. When you start craving stuff properly, always have a banana before you swim. It's the law, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't. I just didn't.
I read once that all the energy you require for an intense weight workout is in one banana.
Oh.
So everyone who's like, I mean, maybe a marathon is different. It's like a marathon, they
I'm
say
prepared.
eat pasta.
Or a whole weekend camping, Nick.
But so I read that, and so whenever I go to the gym for stuff, I usually have like at least a single banana to get me started.
Banana. Yeah.
But it's just a thing. Like I went food shopping recently, and all the loose bananas were done. They're all gone. I had to buy like the packaged organic bananas, like some kind of wealthy aristocrat.
Yeah. Well, it suits your new lifestyle, suits your new
experience.
uniform.
Yeah, well, I'm a grown up now. Yeah, it's grown up. Got a tie, got a shirt.
Yeah.
I thought once maybe shirts were cooler, as in like less hot. But
yeah.
I don't think so.
It's deceptive, isn't it? Because you're like, well, it's just a very thin layer. But no, it's horrible. It always reminds me of just being in an office, so it immediately makes me hot and disappointed.
Always good to be hot and disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, a second point. I've been having a go at self-indoctrination. Do you
self-indoctrination?
Self-indoctrination. Well, I was trying to think, and like it's a very positive thing.
With yourself.
But as with all the positive things in my life, it starts from a very negative place, which is like all of this woke shit.
Oh yeah, the woke stuff.
The woke shit, and like where you're looking at it and being like, I don't know why you believe what you believe, and I don't know where you get what point it has in like actual reality. I don't know how you convince yourself of all of this stuff that just does not exist and does not happen. And the only thing, and it came down to kind of to indoctrination. It's like, well, they're obviously kind of like indoctrinated with these ideas, with this new lens that they then see the world through. And in a positive way, that's how affirmations work. And I've never fucked with affirmations before. I've never looked at it. It always seemed a bit too kind of like, I don't know. It always seemed, it was the kind
positive,
of
too positive.
Yes, it was the kind of like self-motivating stuff that I didn't really believe in, because I'm always like really kind of scientific based and all of that. I mean, like X plus Y equals Z and whatever, and there's nothing in there that says that's got anything to do with affirmations and positive thinking and all of that. But
you eat kiwis. That's good.
Yeah. But
intellectual.
Indoctrination is a thing, and it clearly works. It works in the modern day with the woke shit. It's always worked in the past with every fucking horrific regime that's ever happened. Like, it's obviously something that works. So, like, affirmations there must be some kind of root in it that works. So I devised like a few for like different parts of my life, and I've repeated them to myself every few hours for the last for the last 2 weeks. And I'm not going to divulge exactly what they are, because I feel like if I do, and someone's like, oh, that's a bit fucking stupid or whatever, then it will just lose its power. It just dampens the experiment.
I mean, you've already accidentally leaked that every day you're trying to figure out what terrifies you. Something out there is terrifying, and I don't know what it is. That's a weird affirmation, but maybe it works. You never know.
Yeah.
Am I afraid of modest mouse? I don't know. Try that, see if I'm terrified.
Yeah. But did you ever fuck with affirmations and stuff like that? Like, you're a very like kind of positive thinking kind of person, though.
Yeah, I think I probably have done it subconsciously anyway. Like, I mean, I don't have an ego, but I definitely have confidence. So, like, I probably do tell myself I'm brilliant quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? No, but just like to accentuate the positive.
Yeah.
So if something good does happen, then I'm definitely more, definitely a bit more zoned in on it. So I guess I definitely look for the affirmative more than I look for the negative.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably has an effect, kind of thing, of always trying to look how amazing. Like if there's a funeral and it's terrible, and I've been able to find something funny in it, I'll be like, that was a really great funeral. Yeah. That's probably a way of doing it, probably.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think over time, and assuming it works, which I'm pretty sure it does. I assume over time it basically just forms a new lens with which you see things through. Like it doesn't change the world around you. It just changes how you see it.
Well, take something like I know a lot of people. I like change. Right, I like chaos. I like change. So, like, if I see something let's say it was body image, right? I remember when I was like a teenager, I was focused on trying to get a specific type of body. I would always see like, oh, I look worse in this area today, but that's good because I could work on that tomorrow. Whereas I think a lot of people would see it and then just like use that as a reason to collapse.
Yeah.
And be like, well, there's no point doing anything because that's happened. And that's the same thing as like, I had a new thought of, because the comedy, people are doing comedy events again now, and I had a thought of like, oh, actually, I've always been trying to figure out what to talk about, and I think what's quite funny is maybe I'm a human being. Maybe I used to think that I was like this serial killer, looking axe wielding murderer, aggressive dark bastard, but like if you were to look at the first thing I thought about was. Since the pandemic's over, I'm thinking about getting my life back together, and it's the same thing that we have of like, right, well, like you say, go to the gym. If I do it every day, then it's great. If I start my day good, then it's great. But if I do one thing wrong and I ruin the streak, then it's all over. Yeah, it's like, oh, no, fine, then no, I'm just not going to bother. Well, then I'm going to do this and this, and it's cascade into this kind of self-destructive kind of, well, not even self-destructive, but you ruin that momentum to kind of get better. Yeah. And I think that's probably the same thing. It's just like, you need to either look at a setback or either look at something as a challenge and being able to overcome it and looking forward to work on it, or if you haven't got a positive, affirmative kind of outlook, you kind of look towards I'm going to nosedive then. That's the
thing. There was something that I've been trying to do, and it's really simple on the face of it, but it was something that Jocko said, and that people used to come to him when he was in the Marines, and we're like, look, we've got this and this all this bit has gone wrong, and his immediate response was good, because that will allow us to work on this and this. That means that we were weak here, so now we know we can strengthen that. And I think it is that. And it's not the same as positive thinking, I don't think. I think that is a bit too a wishy-washy kind of way of putting it. It's just
problem solving.
It's proactive, yeah. It's okay, good. Well, that's identified this, so now we can work on that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. But there's definitely a mentality of some people, and people at different stages in life where they just don't want to fix up. They want the solution to a problem and not to work on the problem. And so whenever a problem comes up, they go, "Well, this isn't the solution, so I'm just going to stop."
Yeah,
and I think that's you can overcome that by, I guess, a kind of affirmation style of thinking of being like, "No, I'm going to work on how to deal with this situation."
Yeah. But
and then they tell lots of people it's always good to have positive reinforcement, which I guess is probably true.
Yeah.
I
Plus,
guess
it stops you being there's a certain inevitability of a way of thinking where you're like, well, if you think that you're a fat slob, then you'll just be a fat slob. Like if you get into a weight rack and you look at a set and you look at it and be like, I can't fucking lift that, then you won't lift it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not to say you should fucking hurt yourself, but you've got to have a certain kind of, no, I can do that. Even if you
need to have a drive.
Yeah, even if you think
you need to give yourself a purpose.
Yeah, even if you think you'll fail, it doesn't mean go out and do something stupid, but it means you've got to. There's got that side of it that's that positive thinking sort of side of it has to be there in order for you to achieve kind of long term.
Yeah, you need to have a goal. You need to be working on achieving that goal, I think. I mean, like, I've been going to the gym recently, and it's been rough because I can't achieve exhaustion because either I'm swimming at the moment because I can't really do much else, and it's either too busy for a good swim, and I mean, like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
If I can swim constantly for an hour and push myself for an hour, I'll feel exhausted. But I can't because either it's too busy or I'm in too much pain. This, like, my fingers and hands are, from this weird, I don't think it's joint pain anymore. It feels like nerve pain or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, I just can't use my hands after a little while. So I'll go to the gym to be like, right, I need to expend some energy. And I'll come out after like 20 minutes of swimming and be like, I know that it was beneficial for me to go, but I don't feel like I've still got more energy to expend. I need to figure out a new way of doing it.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me that that's how some people do exercise and do the gym. They'll go to the gym to walk or something, to do some exercise, not to push themselves.
Yeah.
And if it's very strange for me to get used to that, because obviously, like, over time, the assumption is I'll either get used to hands being in pain while swimming, or it'll just kind of lessen as it kind of goes on. But I'm so used to going to do something with a specific purpose and then achieving that and leaving.
Yeah.
And then doing it with swimming is like, I just can't.
That's just it's just a different mindset, isn't it? I mean, the fact that there are quote unquote disabled athletes proves that method is possible, because they hit that wall and just fucking drove it till the wheels fell off, and just like, now I'm at the fucking Olympics. Fuck you. Like they had that same situation. So yeah, but likewise, I've worked through injuries before and stuff like that, but I've nothing ever long term.
Yeah. Well, the big strange thing was just, it was just I came out and being like, I haven't achieved what I went in to achieve. So I think there's a deeper mindset of me when I've got something that I want to do. It's kind of a bit structured in terms of I need to get that done, and it felt like it wasn't done. Yeah. Even if I swim for half an hour, I'm like, I should be tired, but I don't feel like I'm tired enough. So I think to round it out, I think there's a deeper affirmation side of like of a drive to try and get something done that probably benefits lots of people. And it's weird when things are done passively, because I think if you went to the gym just to do something, I feel like that's kind of passive exercise, and I can't really do that. I think that's the same thing with everything. That's why I can't connect with most people, because most people, I think, are doing things passively. If they're going to enjoy a sandwich, it's going to be a passive sandwich, isn't it? Yeah, it's not going to be like, this is the best sandwich.
Well, I think if you're going to the gym, like the way you've done it before is to go and to see progress, But if your body's being unpredictable from day to day, it's difficult to measure that progress.
No, but if you're able to just be exhausted when you leave, like that just being the objective.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people who they just go to the gym to run for 45 minutes. And they do that for a year, and it's like, well, after a couple of weeks, that 45 minutes is going to be easier.
Yeah.
So why not make it more difficult? No, that's all I want to do. Like,
right.
Okay,
you're not going to get much out of it.
It is a drug at the end of the day. So I think trying to hit that is always a thing. But I'm a addict probably in many different things.
Yeah.
Hula hoops, skydiving probably.
Love
I don't
hula
know.
hoops.
They don't do. Even the massive bags aren't massive enough. You know what I mean? The world's crumbling.
Sorry.
It's a weird hula hoop salute.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so you're doing affirmations. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So yeah, I think it's probably good for everyone to do them. I can't think of a situation where I've done them properly, but I think I probably did it quite young, and it's kind of I still do them subconsciously or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much better than people saying like negative affirmations. I don't know. Like, trying to break yourself down.
Yeah. Sorry, your call was breaking there.
Yeah, got a little bit of lag there. But yeah, affirmations and pondering fears. Anything else going on in Steve World?
No, that's it for Steve World. Just fucking hard on the workouts and everything. It's going well.
Hard on the work. How long are you going?
Well, at the minute it's been sort of, and I don't think this is going to change. I think just the volume and the actual program is going to change. But it's been about between an hour and 20 to an hour and a half each gym session, with which is every other day, and then in between that is an hour swim. Mm-hmm. So I'm at least
butterfly.
I'm at least there every day. No, just breaststroke, just to loosen up. I don't hit it hard. I don't hit it to the point where it's like I'm doing like high intensity stuff. It's just jogging without the fucking knee issues.
Yeah, I started to get bored of breaststroke, and I still massively struggle with front crawl.
Yeah.
It seems more knackering, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do like one length of breaststroke and then one length of front crawl.
Yeah.
Until I can get to front crawl all the way, and I'll be one of those really elite people.
Yeah.
Who can front crawl for an hour.
Yeah,
then
fuck
you
that.
get
I see
new
those
bank accounts or
psychopaths. It's I don't understand. Well, it's the same as people running marathons and shit, isn't it? It's just I just don't. It's exhausting. I get like half a length done and be like, I'm drowning. I'm drowning.
You just get used to it, I think. Same with running, right? Once you can run for 10 minutes, you can run for 30 pretty quickly after that.
Yeah.
And then, it just takes off.
Yeah.
Just learning how to breathe underwater.
All that stuff.
Speaking of positive affirmations, we've got some positive news this week. A children's author was shot and beaten to death by a neighbour after he was convinced the victim was a spy working for Vladimir Putin to spread COVID-19. This was in the
Positive
UK.
News.
Yeah. It was in the UK. I was like, this is...
Jesus Christ.
Alex Sartain shot Mr. Nash, 42, with a homemade double-barreled shotgun, then repeatedly stamped on his head, causing him fatal injuries.
Christ almighty. So he's got problems, right? He's got mental problems.
He's got some problems, yeah. The incident occurred in the front garden of Mr. Nash's home in Upper Enham, near
Just shot
Andover,
him in the street.
Hampshire. In this garden.
By the nose.
He died 3 days later, so he was like hospitalised because he was.
That's worse. Like, just get it over with.
It does get better, right? Because a post-mortem examination found that Mr. Nash, the children's author who was murdered, deflected the gunshot with his hand. Yeah.
What? Like, just flesh tennis.
Yeah, just a double-barreled homemade shotgun fired. Tonight.
Just dabbed it away.
I don't know whether it's all children's authors, but I don't know whether he went to Hogwarts School of Deflecting Shotguns with your fucking flesh. But yeah, fair enough. Miss Nash told the hearing that she had been on a video call when she heard the gunshot and raised voices from the garden. Okay, so she wasn't on the video call with him. She was in the house.
Yeah.
Or something on a video call. Heard gunshots and flesh deflection. She said she found Mr. Sartain stamping on her husband's head multiple times with intent. It wasn't like an accidental stamping on the head.
Oh, well, yeah. Thanks for clarifying that.
He was using some pretty big affirmations while he was stamping on my husband's head.
Yeah, I know you meant to shoot him, but did you mean to stamp on his head?
What was your intention? As soon as I opened the front door, I saw a man in full black leathers stamping on the face of my husband, who was flat out on his back.
Oh.
What a sentence. It's crazy. He was asking me, this is the person who was stamping on my husband's head, was asking me what I was going to do to compensate him for the loss of income and livelihood that he had suffered. That I knew exactly what was going on, that I was part of the reason he was locked up, that I wasn't who I said I was, that I was a NASA scientist, and that I knew everything about Project Pandora, and what I was going to do about it.
Right, so he's nuts.
He's nuts, but like, you know, there's only so much that the human brain can compute, right?
Yeah.
You've walked into a room and your husband's on the floor being stamped on by a man in full leathers.
Yeah.
He's saying, you know exactly about Project Pandora, right? And you're like, what? How do you react? I mean, obviously you react by attacking. That would be the hopeful reaction.
Yeah.
But there's so much information. It's like watching, I don't know, one of those new James Bond films where all the cuts are really, really quick. You're trying to figure out what this fight scene is actually about. Yeah. Meanwhile, your husband's dead on the floor and you're part of Project Pandora. She said she attempted to calm him down, but ran away. It's fair enough.
Yeah.
Psychopath.
Well,
got a double-barrel shotgun and blood on his boots.
No purpose in you both dying.
No, it's fair enough. Mr. Sartain's father, John, this is, said his son had a problem with Mr. Nash and thought, hang on, so Sartain is the murderer? Yes, Sartain is the murderer. So the murderer's father, John, said his son had a problem with his neighbour and thought he has something to do with Putin and the spread of COVID. There's something to do with Putin. Meanwhile, he's stamping on his head.
John,
there's a whole thing of...
John, do you know Putin?
Obviously, like, yeah, you know, once there is a level of crazy that is just kind of dangerous and stuff like that, but I don't know, children's author, really? Are they a secret undercover operative for Vladimir Putin spreading
Some people said COVID came from this lab in Wuhan. I think John did it.
I think the guy who wrote the Very Hungry Caterpillar did this.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always writing those books, indoctrinating our kids.
The thing is, well, I guess it's probably doable, right? You go, if someone's that level of mentally detached from reality, you go like, how could they make a gun? And you go like, well, I guess it's not like they've lost all contact with reality. There's just one little segment that they've got in their head saying this is crazy. So go and deal with it. A positive affirmation yourself, a double-barreled shotgun, and go stamp on your neighbour for a bit. That'll help you lose those pounds. Yeah. Who needs a Stairmaster when you can stamp on your neighbour's head? These aren't all going to be health related. No. A little PSA about, it's good to get your cardio going. Get involved in our new fitness regime, Project Pandora.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was horrific. I was surprised it was in the UK. Obviously, this happens everywhere in the world, but like
I didn't expect people to be shot here. Really?
No, not at all. But to be fair, it was a British shot. It was politely rejected.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
With a handmade gun.
Yeah.
I made this myself.
Deflected a shotgun blast. I get obviously it's probably doable, but like, I don't know. It feels incredible. It sounds incredible, right? Yeah. You could deflect, even if it was like birdshot or something like that, just with your hand, just swat it away.
Yeah.
And then just like you're freaked out and you can't defend yourself. That's fair enough. In other positive affirmation news, American honey has tested positive for nuclear fallout.
Of course. Of course. Radioactive bees.
I just like that, what should we test this for? I don't know, let's test it for, regional things. What about for penicillin? Maybe what's that thing in the water supply in America that's like
fluoride.
Toothpaste? Yeah, fluoride. Maybe we test it for the bees got fluoride. Let's have a look. Now let's test it for nuclear fallout. Let's see what's in there. And apparently it makes sense, right? Because there's loads of nuclear weapon testing in America at some point in history.
Yeah.
And the bees took the technology. So, traces of radioactive fallout from nuclear tests in the 50s and 60s can still be found in American honey. The radioactive isotope, identified cesium-137, falls below levels considered to be harmful, but the amounts measured nonetheless emphasize the lingering persistence of environmental contaminants in the nuclear age. So there is nuclear fallout in American honey, but not much.
Not a lot.
So it's fine. Just be aware that you're eating nuclear war.
Fallout.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the uranium hoarder. I don't know. Something like that. You've probably seen this one. This one's been around as well. An Indonesian submarine sank.
I didn't see that, no.
No? It's pretty harsh.
There were people on it.
Indonesia just lost a submarine.
Right.
And they're searching for it, but they think it might be too deep to retrieve.
Oh, what a way to go.
Well, the thing is, I've condensed the article a lot, so it's quite short, but it goes into different ideas, and the subtitle, the sub-headline is, hopefully we can rescue them before the oxygens ran out. So you're like, oh, oxygen's the main problem. But they go on to say the Navy believes the submarine sank to a depth of 2,000 feet, much deeper than its collapse depth, estimated at 700 feet.
Fucking
so
hell.
You're like, I get that oxygen's a concern, but they're 3 times deeper than their collapse depth.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it might have collapsed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the big thing.
That's awful. I'd rather fall out of a plane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, rather than collapse to death. Yeah. Like, it's pretty intense. But apparently there was an electrical failure. A fuse blew and the submarine just sank to the bottom of life.
A fuse?
Bottom of existence.
One fuse?
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing. Electrical failure, right? The up button stopped working. Oh,
well,
down we go.
Well, why should... Right, I feel like there shouldn't be able to be a failure that would cause it to sink. Like,
yeah, that's
you know what I
thought
mean.
as well.
That's like a rowing boat. Like, if there's no oars, then it just doesn't move. Okay, we can deal with that, but not now it sinks because there's no oars. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, you would think that they could inflate something to make it rise, but then maybe you can't store that much air in something that needs to sink.
Yeah.
But you would think there'd be... You just feel like technology's come far enough to make something not sink to collapse depth. You would think. I don't know.
But then it's the Indonesian military. It could have just been made in someone's shed.
It's harsh. Well, they lost.
No,
was it Indonesia that lost all those planes as well?
Yeah,
Was it the Indonesian planes? I can't remember. There's like some passenger jet. I think it was an Indonesian. Like, it was like a famous missing plane.
Was it?
For a while. I think it was Indonesia. An Guk Hyun, an official from South Korea's Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering, said the submarine would collapse if it goes deeper than around 200 meters because of pressure.
Right, so
he said his company upgraded much of the Indonesian submarine's internal structures and systems, but it lacks information about the vessel. So maybe there's hope because they upgraded some of the submarines. They still haven't found it, I don't think, when we were recording this. Frank Owen, Secretary of the Submarine Institute of Australia. There's a submarine institute in Australia. Also said the submarine could be at too great a depth for a rescue team to operate. So, like, human beings just can't go that deep to pick it up.
Well, they just need one of those big claw machines like you get at the arcades.
Cannibal Corpse is doing a big thing on that, if you haven't seen that.
No.
You know, Cannibal Corpse?
They were the
like
ones in
a
Ace Ventura, weren't they?
Band. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a random article this week in Metal Hammer, to be fair, that the lead singer of Cannibal Corpse is starting to do a vlog to help give people tips on claw machines in arcades. That was nice. Oh, yeah. I lockdown, you got to branch out, do
good
different
content.
things.
This is great.
Yeah. Yeah, can't even get myself a cuddly toy. It's always good. Also, let's go back to America for a bit of American, very American type news. A Virginia deputy, so I think that's like a sheriff or like some kind of policeman, gave a black man a ride home, then shot him after a 911 call.
Why?
So to give a brief outline of the whole arc of this story, a policeman gave a black man a ride home in America. That individual then called the police because I think it was his brother inside his house wouldn't give him his keys to his car or something like that. So the guy who gave him the lift, the policeman who gave him the lift, came back, saw he had a phone in his hand, thought it was a gun, and shot him.
Oh.
So, like, dude, you've just dropped him off here.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's the same guy.
So it's the equivalent of me giving you a ride home, you getting locked out of your house, and calling me to come pick you up, and then I see you and I shoot you. I don't get it. It's a whole other world, right? It's a whole other world.
Yeah.
Authorities in Virginia have released disturbing body camera video of a deputy shooting a black man who was holding a cordless phone who had just received a ride home by the same law enforcement officer.
I mean...
he survived more than 6 rounds fired at him.
Oh.
So there's so much I mean, the thing is, I don't know what you can do if the belief is that everybody has a gun.
Yeah.
That you have to kind of fire first, I guess. There's a human requirement to be like, well, the stakes are so high, I'm going to have to fire even if I suspect something. But 6 rounds is pretty crazy.
You just have to
He was
spend
in
more
hospital
on training.
fighting for his life. Well,
Like,
even with all the training in the world.
training, like every week.
But see, I'm not even sure if that's the biggest issue. It's probably an issue if there's inexperienced people. But like, if you think somebody's got a gun, there was a case recently about, I think it was an officer who reached for her taser, but actually grabbed her gun and shot somebody.
And she yelled on the thing, taser, and then shot the guy.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. And then the guy
loud.
that she shot sped off in the car, like she was trying to shoot a taser into the car because he was trying to get away, shot the guy, and then the other guys, and then the car's out of shot, and she's just like talking to the policeman. She's just like, I think I just shot him. I think it's like, oh, okay. So, and she's been on the force for like, I think they said 26 years. So how much experience do you need?
Well, the thing is, right, it's going to be down to muscle memory. It's not good. Like, people are saying, how can you mistake a taser for a gun? You go like, well, in the heat of the moment, you're reflexively reaching for something. You're not even thinking about it.
Well, that's the thing.
And then you're pulling it to bear.
The thing is,
so,
most people...
I can understand.
Most people are not qualified to talk about it. I don't mean they can't talk about it. I mean they're not qualified to. Most people in their entire lives are never put under the kind of stress that police officers are put under. So, like, but just I think if you're a veteran of like the army or something like that, then I've got all day to listen to you or whatever. But like, if you're just a random person giving me your opinions about the police, like, I don't care.
Well, it's just people looking at it with hindsight, and you go, no, in the heat of the moment. Well, you could go, maybe she reached for her taser, but, you know, her pistol was... She changed the layout of her uniform, so her reflex grabbed the wrong thing. Yeah. Or you could say, well, in the heat of the moment, she didn't intend to taser him. Her instinctive reaction was to shoot him. So she got her pistol instead. You go like, well, it depends on the situation. But I think no amount... This training may have helped her there, right? May have been like, you know, always reach for your taser with your other hand or whatever, or make some kind of big difference between how you're going to do it. But like in the heat of the moment, I think if you assume with regards to this article about they thinking he's got a gun, you go, there's so many things that look like a weapon in the dark on a silhouette. You go like, it's just an unfortunate side effect of everybody being armed is that you're going to suspect somebody is armed when they're not. I think it's like something you can't really escape, right? A spokesman for the law firm said he was fighting for his life in hospital. The deputy was not named. Brown was holding a house phone when he was shot because he was on the phone to 911.
Oh.
When Brown got home, he dialed 911 because he said his brother wouldn't let him into his mother's room to retrieve his car keys, according to the audio of the dispatch call. Isaiah was on the phone with 911 at the time of the shooting, and the officer mistook a cordless phone for a gun. There is no indication that Isaiah did anything other than comply with the orders, raised his hands, and with the phone in his hand as was instructed. The people on the phone asked him if he had weapons. He said no. You kind of go, that's kind of irrelevant. You know, if I'm trying to arrest somebody and I think they've got a gun, but they're telling me they haven't, I'm gonna have to assume they do until I've proven to myself otherwise. Maybe I shouldn't shoot them, but I need to assume that they've got it. The deputy who responded to the call, the one who gave him a lift home earlier, appears to believe the phone to his ear is a firearm. The deputy is heard saying, he's got a gun to his head. So he's afraid he's going to shoot himself, so he shoots himself.
I'll do it for you.
Don't shoot yourself! Bang, 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 bang.
Suicide's illegal.
Which, again, I don't want to make that too stupid, because obviously maybe you can disarm somebody by shooting them and prevent them from killing themselves.
Yeah.
Right? That's probably a thing. After the 3:19 a.m. shooting, the deputy then administered life-saving first aid. Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice of him, isn't it? It's polite.
So he's alive?
He's alive, but he's fighting for his life in hospital. Ugh. So the deputy who gave him a ride, who Ubered him home and then shot him, then gave him first aid. So that's good. Sheriff Roger Harris said that another deputy who arrived separately is heard on the call saying, "Where's the gun? Where's the gun?" As in, like, you know, trying to disarm the situation. But it's just a guy with a phone. There's nothing. I don't think. I just think there's nothing you can do. I mean, I think I was watching some YouTube. I think it was like Steven Crowder. Who there's positives with Steven Crowder, but there's also negatives with Steven Crowder. I think, which I think is fair to say. Mm. But like they were talking about how they should stop school shootings by having more security at schools. And you'll just go like, well, that's not really the big thing, is it? Because like when I was growing up, it was shootings in office spaces. Before that, it was postmen going around shooting people. Yeah. Like they're just choosing different locations. Like there's a new map released every 4 years, and that map is like, oh, it's a high school. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a hospital. Oh, it's this. And you go, well, you can't just have security everywhere and still be a non-police state or whatever. Mm. Like, as long as you have to make the assumption that everybody has an armed weapon and people are mentally unstable, you're going to have these misunderstandings, unfortunately. Yeah. But at least he gave him a lift there, shot him, and then gave him first aid. That's fair enough. Oh yeah, I've changed stances on Elon Musk. I've decided that self-driving cars are going to be bad for society. Okay. I think like for industry, it's going to be good, but I just don't like I think people are going to be worse people if they're just chauffeured everywhere they go. Mm. You know, if I need to go to work, and you just kind of slump into a car and then just say, "Take me to work." Yeah. And then it takes you to work. And then suddenly arseholes are able to get around the town regardless of their mental state. Aside from like health reasons or whatever, do you think someone's a worse person if they take the lift instead of taking the stairs? Not a worse person, but it means that more people are able to have access to more places. And that's inherently bad. Because most people are bad. You know what I mean? We've already got removes the resistance, culture. I guess. So, like, if someone's like if a prick is like, I want to go to this place, they would normally have to drive there, and that drive might stop them going. Well, yeah, there's certain restrictions. Like, let's say, first of all, can you walk there? You go, well, maybe it's too far, so they need a level of fitness awareness and map reading in order to get to places. So if they can't do that, okay, maybe I'll drive there. If you drive, you need to be of a certain mental state, have a certain level of understanding of law and all these kind of things in order to get there, and have the mental capacity to drive a vehicle. And there's a strange level of maybe I don't enjoy driving in the same way that, like, oh, I love cars with gaskets and exhausts, all that kind of stuff. But driving places does make me feel, again, that kind of positive affirmation of, like, I'm doing something. I've got a purpose. I've made the decision to do this, and I'm going to do something. Whereas I think you could just drunkenly slump into the back of a driverless car and it take you somewhere. And I just feel like it would make more things available, but I think it'd be worse for society. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
like,
get you.
If I'm, like, you know, yeah, it's just, I don't know.
It's like, yeah, it's...
There would be positives,
you don't want to be
but
giving
overall,
everyone...
human beings aren't ready.
Yeah, you don't want to give people an excuse to be lazy. Like, the amount of... I don't know if it's like a trend on this estate or whatever, but the amount of, like, people who could easily walk to the shops, but instead have bought a mobility scooter so they can just get fatter and more useless. Like the amount of those people that I see is unreal. Like, I'll take the one, I'll take the elderly and whatever. But if you're in your 30s and you're not injured, if I've seen you walking around and you get on that thing and you live on the estate, every house on the estate is within 5-6 minutes of the shop. If you can't walk that, you are a worse person. Like, if you can't work that, if you can't bring yourself to walk that out of laziness, not because you don't have time and not because you're incapable, because you're injured or something, but because you just don't want to, then you are a worse person.
Well, Steve, I'd say through the evolution and competition, survival of the fittest, they probably have more bananas than you do.
Probably, because they got there first.
Yes.
But they don't need them. They haven't done anything.
But they've won. So, I don't... No, yeah, I mean, I think self-driving cars are going to change the world, right? It's going to be like, you know, more higher speed limits, more mobility, able to get around. If you wanted to go on holiday in America, you could just get in a car and the car will drive you there. Maybe it'll take a while, but it'll be cheap and whatever. But just, I don't know, family drives, I remember as a kid, were always pleasantly, sometimes silent, because we've got to focus on the road. So that means we didn't have to speak to each other, which is great. Right, so now what? We're just going to sit around playing patty cake while the car drives itself?
Yeah, no one ever told us to be quiet. We just wore ourselves out.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like it would be good for the human race, but terrible for society.
Yeah.
I think worse people. It's going to have a negative effect. Industrial-wise, it'll be brilliant. Maybe that's the solution, is put people in shipping containers if they want to go somewhere.
Yeah.
You have to pass some kind of test.
Get in the box. Yeah. Yeah. Look, you can go there and not have to drive. The trade-off is It's not going to be pleasant.
I mean, just imagine, if you're a kid, you could get in a car and say, take me to Disneyland, and it would.
Yeah.
Like, so many kids are going to go missing. You know? So much is going to go wrong. I just feel like it's, no. But, yeah, this is because, the reason I've had this rethought is because SpaceX evacuated a local village because they're doing a Starship test.
What?
And they feel that lots of people are going to get impaled with glass. Which is quite large for a car company to then become a rocket company and then and then threaten local villages with sieges of glass.
Yeah.
It's a bit intense. The first sense that I was like, maybe these are evil and maybe this is going to be the problem.
No, we need maniacs. Like, we need insane people. But
this is true. Do we need them in space?
What?
Do we need them in space, though?
That's the best place for them. Like,
I heard there's satellite warfare in space. There's kamikaze satellites.
What, they're just made to smash into others and take them out?
Yeah, they appear as debris, but when activated in the Third World War, they'll take out the satellite. They'll just collide into other satellites to
That's interesting.
Never thought of that, did you? My internet went down for 2 hours the other day, and
you just made shit
horrible. That was just horrible. I was just like, well, I had planned a Friday evening to do something, and there's no internet. I can't do it. And it wasn't me; it was the internet. It was my provider was just down.
Oh.
For a couple of hours. It's like, well, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as losing power. Losing power, I kind of die.
Yeah.
Like, I can't sleep, can't do anything. But losing internet was like, well, what do I do? I can't do anything. I'm not equipped for this.
Everything runs on the internet now. And even those stupid things, like you'll get a game where you're like, this used to just work. Like, and now it has to like check in with its owner. I'm the owner.
Well, the funny thing is, my lights only work via the internet.
Oh, so now I live in darkness.
Well, no, I was trying to sleep, and I was living in bright light. Because it's a smart house. I mean, I could still go over and turn off the switch, but I'm not a chump, right? I'm staying in bed when I'm turning off my light.
I'm not a chump. I'm just going to lose sleep.
I'm just going to sit here in blinding light and try and sleep. But yeah, SpaceX, the Starship SN-15 is going to perform a high-altitude launch. I don't know whether that means it's going to launch from the sky or from a mountain or something like that.
Yeah.
From SpaceX's Starbase complex in Boca Chica. An alert notice to residents warned that space flight activities, in quotes, activities, would be carried out on the 21st of April. There's a risk that a malfunction during these activities could create an overpressure event that can break windows.
Right, I see.
All the windows in the village will explode.
Yeah.
and embed themselves in your loved ones. So
yeah.
Get out.
And stamp on their faces.
Yeah. Seems harsh. All right. So yeah, I don't know, self-driving cars. Yeah, it's a good scientific development, but I just feel like people aren't ready. It's too fast. It's going to be like the effect that Twitter had on society. Just imagine that, but with traffic.
Yeah.
And like people on the roads, people outside. Take me to so-and-so's house. If you can at someone on Twitter, you can just be like, take me to Jim Carrey's house now.
Yeah.
And the car will just take you. And if it doesn't, there'll be an app
that
lets
like,
you take control of it.
Yeah, I guess. Twitter would be fixed, though, if they just turn the algorithms off and just let it do what it's going to do. Like, then you wouldn't have all these people trapped in bubbles.
I don't know. I reckon just people are inherently evil.
Yeah.
And so when you give them a voice, there's going to be a lot of evil voices. Or just misinformed voices. Angry at illogical stuff. I think I mentioned, right, on the Prince Philip's funeral, they were live streaming it, and all the comments were people saying, stop saying hateful things. And there was no hateful things being said.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't reason with these people. Or these tweets or whatever. Maybe they're bots, maybe they're whatever. But you can't reason with it. So it's just, if you give everyone in the world a voice, you're going to hear a lot of bad voices.
The only way past that is to try and make it a bit more human. Because I think the trouble with it is that we're used to human interaction and the way we talk to each other face to face and everything like that. And the shit that people say to each other and are perfectly comfortable with the tone of voice they have, like talking to and about people online, is like, it's so far away from what they would do in real life in most instances, that you just need to get it a bit closer to that.
I mean, there is an element of people acting what would be the word, like hyper aggressively to people.
Well, the other side
face to face where maybe they wouldn't normally.
The other side of Twitter in particular is that they're all talking in headlines, which is a stupid way to communicate. Like, when was the last time you read a headline of like a newspaper and got the whole story of everything? Like, you don't.
Virginia deputy gave black man a ride home, then shot him after 911 call.
Right.
That's pretty much the whole story. Radioactive fallout, nuclear fallout in American honey. I mean, it's not the worst way of communicating. But I get what you mean. Like, in terms of people trying to communicate something, not everybody is able to succinctly say it compassionately in 140 characters or whatever the character limit is. I don't know. But yeah, I still see the problem more as people are inherently bad or inherently ill-equipped. Yeah, ill-equipped. The majority of people are ill-equipped for a lot of situations. That if you give them a voice, they're going to not respond to it. They're going to misread something. They're going to misunderstand it. They're going to try and send an in-joke to their friends inside of it, and it's all going to be confused. It's just, something that maybe won't work, but as soon as you put that into an automotive world, I feel like a bad tweet could destroy a lovely car with a family inside. I don't know. Lastly, from me, we've got a bit of audience stuff as well, but lastly from me, this is a headline I think that doesn't make a lot of sense. Schoolboy has disappeared after falling off of Tower Bridge and into the Thames.
Well, he's in the Thames.
Has he disappeared?
Yeah.
He's at the bottom of the Thames.
Yeah, he's with the Submarines.
It's not. Is he gone to collapsible depth? Probably not, but who knows? Police are investigating the disappearance of a schoolboy. It's not missing person. It is a missing persons, but it's like he's in the river. Police are investigating the disappearance of a schoolboy who fell off Tower Bridge into the River Thames. The Year 8 pupil, thought to be 12 or 13, was travelling with a friend on a bus on Tuesday morning when he got off before his usual stop. What, that stop was the Thames?
Yeah.
He didn't get off the stop and end up on top of Tower Bridge. There's no stop on Tower Bridge.
Well, that's weird. He normally gets off. He normally gets off at Piccadilly, and today he's got off underwater.
Yeah, to his own demise.
Yeah.
What's the deal? City of London Police said despite an intensive search by officers and helicopter and marine units. What's a helicopter? A helicopter's not going to find someone underwater. Well, I mean, to be fair, they're looking for him on the shores, right? I guess they're going up and down to see if they can see something like that. Matt Jones, executive principal of the boys' school. Well, what? Why are they asking him? Well, what did the principal think? Well, I'm very disappointed. B-. You know.
To be fair, he was always a bad student.
He was in full school uniform, but got off the bus near the bridge earlier than his usual stop. He then, in quotes, fell into the River Thames. Why are they saying in quote? I mean, maybe they're saying this 12-year-old or 13-year-old jumped into the Thames.
Yeah.
Which I think is unlikely. Possible, I'm sure, but unlikely. Police confirmed they were leading an investigation to a missing person. A witness waded into the water to try and save the boy, but could only find his school bag. Oh, God. Imagine wading into the water to save a drowning child, and you don't grab the child, you grab his bag.
Yeah, like that bit from The Mask.
Oh. Yeah. No, I got his bag, don't worry.
Yeah, he's done his own work.
At least we know he was a good student. His parents would be proud. Another witness said, we all heard him screaming for help, and then a woman who was just walking past with her boyfriend grabbed a float and jumped into the river. Right. She said, why isn't anybody helping him? And all she could bring back was his school jacket and his bag. Oh. They wouldn't necessarily... I mean, they might float, but I get the impression from how they've written it. She, grabbed him, but pulled back and, his jacket and bag came off.
Oh.
I saw police going through the bag, and it had his school books and stationery in it. He was clearly very young. That's the last statement.
Is that it? He was very young. We know he was young. We know how old he was. Why is it? This isn't a revelation. But he had Thomas the Tank Engine on his pencil case. He was obviously very young.
Yeah, I mean, he went to school. This is school child. What the fuck? But how do you feel? I'm not I'm not the strongest swimmer.
No, me neither.
But my assumption is I could swim in the Thames. But that might be completely false.
It depends where, because the currents get ridiculously strong.
But I've never felt current pull me under, but I believe that's what it does.
Yeah.
I've swam in the sea and it's pulled me very far further down the beach or whatever, but I've never been pulled down. But my assumption is I could stay afloat in the Thames at least. But then you go, could you carry somebody else? I
Yeah.
don't know. I think there's many cases of people diving into the Thames to try and help people, and they've died.
Yeah.
There's quite a few cases of that from vague memory. Even recently, I think something happened.
I would never
somebody.
consider myself strong enough to help anyone in that situation.
But then you've got a wife, you've got something to live for. I'd probably try. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's obviously silly, but I think it's vaguely true, right? If I had a wife, I'd like something to look like. I mean, my dog will miss me, sure, but she'll love the memory of me dying saving someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, if you had to, more of a foundation of love and support, then you'd be like, oh yeah, no, that kid will be fine. No, I don't know. I think you'd have to. Well, yeah, I would be more brazen at the moment trying to save a child in a river.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had children, I'd like try and lower something for the child. But at the moment, single bachelor lifestyle, I'd dive in that river, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there'll be a lot of rings on the Thames, won't there? Like on the side for you to throw in.
Well, yeah, I think that's what she said. She grabbed a float, and I'm assuming a float is like one of the rings. And yeah, but you still dive into. I mean, it's a child. You'd have to do it. My thinking is, and this is why I've gotten not very many recently because of lockdown, but I usually end up in confrontational situations similar to that. Maybe not as dramatic, but I just can't understand how you can go home and be like, I didn't dive into the water.
Mm.
Like, I could justify it if you've got family of your own and you need to stay alive. But if you don't, you go like, well, just no, you would have to. I don't know.
Mm.
So yeah, that child drowned. Positive affirmation. Don't go to
drown.
school, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the audience this week, and this is the last from me, a woman is seeking legal action after she thought she was engaged to Prince Harry. So a woman... A woman thought she was engaged to Prince Harry, so she called the police.
Help!
An Indian lawyer was duped into believing that she was in a relationship with Prince Harry, and then attempted to seek legal action against the royal for breaking the promise to marry her.
Christ.
So she wanted to be married to Prince Harry. She met someone online who claimed to be Prince Harry, and now she's suing the royal family. Palwinder Kaur alleged that she had been contacted by the Duke of Sussex on social media and that she had told her that he wanted to marry her. But when their royal nuptials never happened, she filed a plea in Haryana High Court seeking legal action, complaining that he hadn't fulfilled his promise. He promised!
So she's just an idiot.
Yeah, she's just a bit deranged, a bit desperate, I guess.
Well, it's the idea.
She thought she was getting married.
It's the kind of person that would fall for one of those Nigerian prince emails. Literally.
Well, this is literally it. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, marry me, and yeah. So, but she's a lawyer. I mean, you would think she'd have
Can't
some
be that
grasp
stupid,
of.
then. But yeah, so she
like-
must just be fucking mental.
Or just vulnerable. I do sympathise with people. Like, I do
Got a
think
much nicer way of putting it than me. That's fucking nuts.
Well, thinking about I think I can empathise with people acting out of emotion or out of instinct more than rationale, I think. Like, I don't know, there was a thing about like when you're trying to start a relationship with somebody, like the escalation to take it to a physically intimate level requires some level of irrationality.
Yeah.
Like, if everybody, if people who are nervous and shy, they would never, ever be in a relationship with anybody unless they listen to their emotions and their instincts. Because, like, even just, like, to put yourself out there a little bit more is probably due to just fuck tons of hormones telling you fucking mate.
Yeah.
And so, like, that kind of brings you out of your shell, and that can go wrong. And I can understand if you're doing it genuinely, I can understand taking that risk and maybe it goes wrong. So maybe she was just really. I mean, there's a weird thing that I noticed, and I feel weird talking about it, but I don't think, or anybody who is listening to this, isn't one of these people. But I noticed on dating apps, if you compliment somebody, they're like 90% more likely to reply. And I find that strange. It sounds simple, right? But like if your first opening message is like, "Hey, how are you?" or, you know, talking about something that you share a hobby in, then you might get a response. But if you just reply to somebody's photo as beautiful, they reply more. And I don't think that's necessarily that people are shallow and whatever, but I think that there's a weird... some people really are looking for that level of connection.
Affirmation.
And I think that's and I think that's where the vulnerability comes in. Is it's just they just want, some people, male and female, just want to be told they're good people or good looking or young or whatever. But it's very strange. I don't know whether it's because, I don't know. I accept compliments, but I don't look for compliments. Yeah, if you know what I mean. And I obviously I'm quite secure, but I think some people are really just looking for a compliment.
Yeah, it could be. There could be some kind of like biological difference between men and women there as well.
Well, I thought there's a tweet from ages ago that was like, if you want to kill 3 hours of conversation with a guy, just ask him what animals he thinks he could beat bare-fisted. And I think that's so true.
Yeah.
I think if you ask any guy which animal he could beat barehanded, like with his bare hands, I think everyone would have that would start a conversation with everyone.
There's a proper thought process there. You start weighing them up and
yeah. Even the most meek of people would still. That's a weird male thing. I don't know why. Yeah. But I think there's probably a thing about compliments with men as well. But there's something in there, and that's what I'm saying. I empathise with this woman who's like, even how unbelievable it was that somebody was proposing to marry her. Yeah. She probably just really wanted to believe it on some level. The same way that some people on dating apps are just like, this person says I'm beautiful, and I'm pretty sure he means it, and he's not just saying it. It's like that same jump, but just to a bigger extreme. Yeah. Again, anyone who's listening to this is not someone like that, but I just found it strange when I was on dating apps. I've stopped now. I'm taking a break. I'm a grown-up now with a shirt. So, let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm working on your, what do we call it? Defamation campaign.
Okay.
I figured out a way around it, unless the people who are searching for you use Google image search, and I don't think they will.
Okay.
They'll just search for your name, right? And then this will come up.
Probably.
They'll be like, I'm not watching an hour and a half to figure out who Steve Milligan is.
Yeah.
But, I found a bit of workaround. I've spoken for a while about doing some kind of news segment.
Yeah.
As like a show. So I think I want to start working on something like that. I think that could be quite fun. And more writing based.
Yeah. More creative.
But procrastination.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit more creative, I think.
Thought
could
out.
Be a bit of fun. Yeah. But it's more creative energy that I need to harness.
Yeah.
But it could be quite fun. But yeah, so I was playing around with it before the recording, hence the shirt and the tie. But that's me this week.
Excellent. Probably a badger. I think I could take a badger.
I could easily kill a badger. I reckon I could kill a goat.
The thing is, like, they are like oddly vicious, and I'm a bit squeamish about being bitten, more so than claws and stuff. I think being bitten is something quite feral and wild about it. I'm not stupid enough to think I could take out a chimp, and I'm not one of these guys that's like, well, I could take a bear. Like, I couldn't.
I could kill a chimp.
I think
the right drop kick. Yeah, the right drop kick at the right moment, I reckon. Just through sheer weight. If you dropped an elbow on a chimp, I think that chimp's fucked.
Yeah.
If you miss, you're fucked. Right? But if you get the right elbow drop on them, I think they're dead.
The thing is, like, most of us, though, like, we don't have the strength to...
Kill an eagle.
If it's big... It's difficult, even if it's not ferocious. Could you kill a cow barehanded? It's difficult. You couldn't choke it out.
No, couldn't punch it to death.
Yeah,
you could break its legs.
I think I don't want to do that.
No, they're really small legs.
I want to go like mano a mano.
Satisfying. was like, can you imagine? I think if you could headbutt something effectively and you come out on top, you could kill it with your bare hands. No, I don't think you could headbutt a horse or something.
No, fuck no. A horse would fuck you up.
Like cows is massive.
Yeah.
Headbutt a rhino.
Maybe a pig, but I'd feel bad about the screaming.
I could kill a pig.
You could, but I don't want to. I'm trying to think of an animal that's just a bastard.
Is the pig threatening your life?
Yeah.
Is the pig hunting you for sport? If it is.
Yeah, then maybe in that instance. But then there's a difference between a pig and a boar. Like, I don't think I could kill a boar before it decided to run away. I think it would take a chunk out of my leg and then fuck off.
I think it's got to be a cage match.
So it's just something has to die.
It's gonna keep on fighting it. Yeah. I think that's how it works. I'd like to fight birds. I don't know why, but that just sounds hilarious.
Come back.
Just like imagine you could. I think you could defeat an. I could defeat an eagle. It would be a struggle, but to watch a man box an eagle would be fucking incredible. It would be amazing.
Yeah, they are big.
A cage match with an eagle or a vulture,
or like just try and figure something out, like a walrus. How am I gonna do this?
Yeah, it feels like they would Rocky you to death. You know, they just take all the punches until you're exhausted.
Yeah.
And then they just roll on.
It's got no neck.
What I mean? You could box a fish.
Yeah, you can do that. They always tell you to do that with sharks, don't they?
Or if you were underwater, could you box another fish? Could you box a fish underwater? I don't know. I reckon they've got such an advantage. Again, they'd exhaust you out. Couldn't kill a fish.
Depends on the fish. But I always feel like you couldn't really swing a good punch underwater.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And when you go to it, they're gonna dodge it. A hyena, I reckon I could kill a hyena.
Yeah, but is it just one?
Yeah, just one. Yeah,
maybe. But they've got. But if they get you, then you're fucked. Like hyenas, they're scavengers, and their jaws will go straight through bone without even thinking.
Yeah, it wouldn't be easy. It's the same as the chimpanzee. I think you could, but if you mess up, you're fucked. It'd be a difficult thing, but I think it's doable. But I don't think you could go much bigger than a hyena.
No.
For me.
No.
I think that's kind of the upper bracket of things I could defeat in like mano-a-mano fist fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's bigger than a hyena? Like a leopard?
Oh no, I don't want to fuck with big cats. Big cats are just.
I'm allergic. They've got the advantage. That's hard. That's unfair.
Yeah. No, I don't want to fuck with big cats. And I don't want to hit anything that looks friendly, like a seal. I want to punch a seal. It's like a dog of the sea.
I'd like to punch someone that was smiling at me. Just don't smile at me. Yeah, I'd have to look more into that, but yeah, I think a hyena is probably the higher bracket. I think. I can't think of anything bigger than a hyena that I'd fuck with. I'd fuck with a bear. I'm not gonna lie. I might lose. I probably would lose.
What bear though? A black bear, I can see you. A grizzly bear, you've fucked.
Bear, it's the bare-handed thing. It's that with the no tools, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
you can't win. I'd put up a fight, but I think I would lose. I'd go into it knowing I'd lose if I was going to fight a bear.
Yeah, like if there was a bear, I would do what I could to get stuck in its throat.
Wait a minute. I could kill a giraffe.
Giraffes?
If I was in a fight with a giraffe, I think I would win. And a giraffe is bigger than a hyena.
No, I don't see it. Have you seen giraffes fighting?
Yeah, their weird neck fucking wiggles.
Yeah. Well,
you could catch that, mate.
They have like you can't catch that. It's like a morning star. They just swing it round and then smack you with it like a mace. Like
yeah, but if they fuck up and you get on top,
you only ever see them on TV. Like that head is like a horse head, like bigger even.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge.
No, but all right. Well, let's say if I was to grasp onto the neck of a giraffe that's swinging,
yeah,
is that neck going to go back up? Can he lift me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe he could. I could believe that he could, but I don't know. Yeah, but it's basically an erection, isn't it? I don't think an erection could lift me. No, I reckon. The only problem with fighting a giraffe barehanded is they could give birth halfway through and not need to lay down. And that they're just multiplying.
Yeah, but they're not amoebas. Something's got to mount it in between all that, and that means you're fighting a giraffe for 9 months.
No, but if it was already pregnant, it was
right,
like
okay.
in labour. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
you don't fight a pregnant giraffe.
I could have some common decency. No, I reckon I could defeat a giraffe. And again, that's with no research, but I reckon if I had to, I could kill a giraffe. But I couldn't defeat a horse. And you think a horse would be easier to defeat than a giraffe, right?
I mean, probably, yeah. If for no other reason than geography. Like, you haven't had to walk all that way.
Yeah. I haven't had to walk to another continent. Yeah.
But no, like, I wouldn't take on it. I don't want to ride a horse. Like, I don't trust him.
Nah, I'm not a horse rider.
Yeah, I mean, like,
horses feel more powerful than giraffes.
And donkeys as well. Donkeys are small horses, but with an attitude. Like, do you know they got, like, farms will, they used to have one donkey in with, like, the sheep or the chickens or something like that. And what they do is they patrol the perimeter, and if a fox comes, they just rip it to shreds. A donkey. And like, I didn't know that. They don't trample it or anything like that. They pick it up and just wing it about until it falls apart.
Like a dog. Yeah. Well, it makes sense. They got to have survived somehow, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's one up from a giraffe, though? A giraffe is pretty up there.
Well, if you're not talking about height, if you're talking about other animals in the jungle, then you're onto the territory of like hippos and rhinos and stuff, and you got no fucking chance.
No. I mean, what hunts giraffe? Lions, and shit.
Big cats. Yeah.
Cats. I couldn't kill a gorilla.
No.
But I could kill a giraffe.
All right.
Come at me, internet.
I've got 5 articles here, and like I actually kind of want to end it on the zoo animal, on the punching animals.
No, but do you see what I mean though about the giraffe, right? It's got not short legs, but the horse has got like the piston fire backwards. Yeah, I don't feel like the giraffe's got that.
The giraffes are just as fucking powerful. It's just that they're much bigger. You're used to seeing them further away because they have to fit them in frame.
I've just seen them all from afar. It's all been a matter of perspective.
Well, like, they're the size of a tree. A tree.
I could beat a tree in a fight.
Now we're on to vegan fist fighting.
I could beat a Venus flytrap. No, I genuinely think man can defeat giraffe. That's my...
Okay.
I think that's true. We'll look into it a bit more.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way, right? A gorilla could defeat a giraffe. That's no questions, right?
Yeah.
If a gorilla wanted to fight a giraffe, I think the gorilla would come out on top.
Yeah.
I reckon a chimpanzee couldn't. We're in the middle. So I think there's definitely a question to be answered.
Yeah.
I'll get in touch with Brixton Zoo. You do Cheshire. We'll see if we can set something up.
All right. I feel like I would
My
rather...
mate wants to punch your giraffe.
I feel like I would rather fuck with an alligator. I think they're more predictable than a giraffe. And I feel like they've got more blind spots as well.
I've got bad knees. I don't want to be bending down all the time.
Yeah, that's an issue. I'm already much closer to the ground than you are.
Yeah, this is true. If the alligator was on hind legs, properly, I'd be up for it.
That'd be weird.
But like on the floor, I'd be like, nah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you don't have to adopt the alligator stance. Like, then you fucked because it'd just eat your head.
Yeah,
but I feel like with a good leap, you could just like quickly just hop around and choke it out.
But if you had it right, so again, this one.
But not in the water.
Giraffes
has to be on land.
Yeah, I'd say my giraffe, my upper thing is a giraffe, and are you saying that your upper one would be like an alligator?
I think so. Yeah,
large reptile.
Yeah,
I think. And then you just go, well, what if you had an axe? I think if you had an axe,
that changes a lot.
I reckon I could beat a lion with an axe. Again, if you fuck up, you're fucked.
Yeah, you've got one
it's
shot.
Very much the first 10 seconds of the fight. You need to deal with it.
You've got one shot, but at the same time, there are tribesmen in Africa that just go and take lions' kills and like, no, I'm having that.
Yeah,
and the lions don't fuck with them.
Yeah, and these aren't like hardened boxing lions or anything like that. These are just in the wild. This isn't like, they've been boxing for years.
Yeah.
This is just genuine. I think if you had an axe, you could Right, if you had an axe, you could kill a hippo, but maybe not before the hippo kills you.
Yeah, you couldn't kill a hippo with one shot. Not with an axe.
No.
You'd be hard-pressed to kill a hippo with one shot with a gun.
Bob and weave, yeah.
I don't know how you bob and weave from a hippo. There'd have to be a tree. You'd have to be something you can move around, because you're more maneuverable. That's what you've got on your side, as far as a hippo goes. Yeah. But if it gets you at all,
it would have to be 1,000 tiny cuts, and you couldn't be hit once.
Yeah,
I reckon
it's the bullfighting thing again, isn't it? It's where it's you have the bull in the arena, and it has to be stabbed 1,000 times before it goes down.
Yeah. But there's not that many more animals I think that we could kill. I don't think there's many more animals that would.
One-on-one, we are surprisingly vulnerable.
But it's all about them tools.
Yeah, that's just it. We work well with our hands and in gangs.
And just throwing. I mean, that was the big thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like, lots of animals throw, but they don't necessarily throw with accuracy and intent to like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Is throw shit.
They don't throw with any purpose.
No.
Yeah.
They'll throw things, but not to... Well, I guess chimps throw feces.
Yeah.
Why don't chimps throw other stuff?
I mean, I'm sure
because then you'd have to make the tool to throw. It'd have to be a sharp thing that you're throwing.
Yeah.
It'd have to. There's lots of other process with that.
You
could kill a. I think all fish have the advantage.
Yeah.
I don't think you could kill any fish.
No, because you'd have to fight them in water. Because if you're like, I could kill a fish, just put it over there. It's like it's already dead.
Yeah. No, but even if you're swinging an axe, you can't defeat like a small shark.
That's why they came up with harpoons.
Yeah. Maybe if you came from the air into land, maybe
you want to parachute onto the back of a shark.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We are getting off topic, and I think it is kind of proof of the concept that as soon as you start talking about it, you kind of start to lose everything else. But I think giraffe. I'd be surprised if you couldn't kill a giraffe with your bare hands. Yeah. I would be surprised. I'd be surprised if I couldn't, even though I can't use my hands very much at the moment. I reckon I could
I can't swim for more than 20 minutes, but I could kill a giraffe.
Yeah, I could punch a giraffe to death. When I turn keys in my house, it hurts a lot.
Yeah.
But I could choke out a gazelle.
But there is there is the side of that argument, which is that people don't really know what they could do if they had to. They only know what they think they might be able to accomplish. Like, it's the difference between like, well, maybe you can't run 5 miles, but if something was chasing you, you could probably run 5 miles. Like, you'd find something within yourself, but there's no way to really test that without some kind of Hunger Games situation.
Positive affirmations, right? Yeah. Choke the giraffe. You can choke a giraffe.
I am a giraffe
You can
killer.
break a giraffe's jaw.
Yeah. I am the safari murderer.
Yeah, I can kill this crocodile with a thought. Something like that. Get yourself psyched up.
Yeah.
Play a, motivational song. Some Enya. And then just go out and knock out that deer or whatever.
Yeah.
Could fuck up a deer if you could catch it. Now we're getting down cliche lines of like, will there ever be a boy born who can swim faster than a shark? No, but like, deer run fast. I don't think you can run as fast as a deer, but if you could rugby tackle a deer, that deer's fucked.
The thing as soon as you get to a territory where it's like, well, a well-trained person with a gun will sometimes miss, I'm almost certain I couldn't do it by hand.
What if like swang in on a vine?
I mean, like when you
That'd be epic.
The thing is, like animals have this thing where if you don't kill them, they will just get away, and it doesn't matter how much pain they're in. It doesn't matter how ripped to shreds they are. If they are able to function, they will get away. Like I've watched videos of like something that's been attacked by a lion, and it's got its insides just hanging out, and it's just walking across the road. It's gonna die soon, but it's got like it's had that instinct to kind of get away. Unless you can actually fucking kill it on the spot, you're not gonna do it.
In I think the cage match scenario gives us an advantage against animals like gazelles and shit like that because they can get away, as you say. And their speed and that in a confined space, you might have an advantage. You can trip them up.
Yeah,
that probably work.
Yeah,
but like a disadvantage against like a proper predator.
But even then, like with a gazelle or a deer, like something that's actually. Gazelles aren't massive, but they're big enough. But deers are pretty big. Like, have you ever been headbutted by a goat? That is surprisingly intimidating.
Surprisingly, what you thought it was going to be welcoming? You thought it was going to be, this is charming.
No, but I thought it's like
smack. I'm intimidated by this. I thought it was going to be like a loving handshake. No, I'm intimidated.
No, it just wasn't expected.
This is weirdly aggressive.
There's just a surprising amount of force generated there. And like you don't expect it. So as soon as that body starts getting bigger and bigger, like a deer would fuck you up.
Yeah, but I guess it's that balance thing. I think all animals have a chance to fuck you up. It's just whether you could prepare yourself for it and react properly.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I think if like a crocodile, right? If you were able to able to deal with it, you'd be fine. But if you fuck up, you're dead. It's very much a.
But the side of with a crocodile or something like that, I feel like I can see what it's gonna do. Like I can see its method. And as long as I can find a way around its method, then I feel like I'll be all right. But with a deer or a horse, that's chaos. Like I see lizards particularly if their prime thing is to run away. Like a lizard is like it's gonna come at you, and it's gonna come at you face first. You know that. Like there's nothing really beyond that. That's all it's got. If you move over there, it'll still just come at you face first. That's what it's going to do. A deer or a horse, like first you're going to have to corner it, and then you don't know if it's going to kick you or headbutt you or run away again until the point where you're just fucking knackered, and this thing is still trying to run away, and then it just tramples you to death.
Kick.
Like I feel like they're unpredictable. I think there's an X factor to something like that that's not really being considered in this argument.
I think the lizards are more unpredictable than the grass-fed animals.
Yeah.
Than the plains animals. Yeah, I'm more of a plains hunter, I guess. You're more of a swamp. I don't know. I just wouldn't. I've never. I don't trust lizards.
Lizards are lizards are fine. I think they're quicker than you expect them to be, but I think they're fine. I wouldn't fuck with snakes.
Doesn't that move up towards the crocodiles? It's all reptile, reptile-y, lizardy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I seem to have avoided. It seems like no, they do their own thing over there.
Yeah.
They're too leathery, I think. More leathery than a horse.
Maybe.
But pony. I think you could kill a pony pretty easily. Oh yeah, I could kill a pony.
You could kill a pony. Yeah.
Yeah.